Hello everyone, I'm back for another unboxing, this time for Controlled Chaos. Also, I thought you might like to see a comparison between the two boxes. Okay, let's get this open. So here we have our new rulebook for Controlled Chaos. Our new single-player scenarios. Co-op scenario overview. Our new Chaos Theory module. Dinosaur Elites. And also a quick reference that includes all of the new steps for playing with Controlled Chaos. Of course, we also have the new reference sheet for all of the new dinosaurs, as well as the new facilities. Here we have the new sideboard. This is actually the first time I've seen the fully finished version of this. At least in its final printed form. It looks pretty good. We have our new punch boards. So, a little bit of an interesting story with these. When we got our PPC version of these, we discovered that the aquatic habitat tiles were just barely too small. Or not the aquatic habitat tiles, but rather the size of the tiles were just barely too small, and as a result, when you place them on one of the boards, they had the unfortunate effect of falling through the holes. So this was something that we actually had to go back and redesign these tiles ever so slightly. So now they are the best of both worlds. They both fit in between the fences as well as over the gray side of the player boards. A little unfortunate, though, is we originally were able to fit all of the punch boards on only 2 punch boards, but as a result of having to resize them, we actually made them slightly longer. We actually had to redesign the full punch boards, so now they actually fit on 3. As kind of a side effect, we now have 3 extra coins that will be part of this, so not wanting to waste the space on those. So of course what you're really excited to see is all of the new wooden components, I'm sure. So these are, if I can get this to focus properly. Well, there we go. So these are our new refined DNA tokens. So we actually used a new technique that the factory was just developing to add a little bit of extra detail on these tokens. As you can see, that's actually pretty impressive for a screen printing on a wooden component. So those look absolutely great. Have some of our aquatic dinosaurs here. Looks a bit like a dolphin. This looks like our Spinosaurus, which are one of our largest new dinosaur. Those came out great. Actually lighten the color of these from our pre-production copy just because they got lost in some of the graphics a little bit and we wanted them to stand out a little bit more. So those look really good. We have our mosasaurs, which is also the dinosaur that's featured on the cover. Again, one of our larger new dinosaurs. We have our plesiosaurs. These are a little bit special to me because in proper Burlington, Vermont fashion, it is believed that there's one of these guys living in our local lake. So they of course had to be in the game. Here we have our megalodons, which are not technically a dinosaur. Well, technically none of the aquatic species outside of the Spinosaur can be considered dinosaurs, but this one's a bit more of a stretch than most, but it's so iconic that it had to be part of the game. We have our mastodons and our biggest dinosaur. Let's get him out of here. Our titanosaur, or dreadnoughtus. So this guy is truly mammoth. I'll show him off on the board a little better set up, but just to give an idea here, he fully spans 2 spaces of the park board. We have our little Gallimimus. Those look pretty good. And then our Therizinosaurus. And all the remaining dinosaur elites here. Those came out great. Yep. An empty bag, I'm not sure what that's for, but I'm sure you'll find a use. Here we have our specialist cards. So these, we already showed this off in a previous update, but they have a fully metallic back. So these all look really good. Yeah, those are one of my favorite components. We have our new aquatic die. So these are used when aquatic dinosaurs rampage. Instead of damaging structures normally, which would be a little bit odd thematically, you must instead pay the dollar amount on the die, or they will destroy their pens. Oh, there's the, they can still, however, eat visitors. So that's that symbol there. And finally, all of the new cards. So there's quite a lot of these. This is the new aquatic deck, and also, as it were, the new Dinosaur Elites deck. And it looks like we have a Dino Elite in here as well. Let's open these up. Alright, so first, let's take a look at some of these cards. That's not in focus. There we go. Bunch of the new DNA. Gallimimus. There is an Asaurus. These all look really good. Let's make sure the backs are correct for the new dinosaurs. It looks like they are. We have some of our new breaking news cards. These are our new cards specific for the co-op mode, which changes things up a little bit. We also have our Chaos Theory breaking news cards. New manipulation cards. These all look good. Yeah, these look very good. One more deck here. Let's just open that up real quick. And here's a couple more Dinosaur Elites. Our aquatic dinos. It'd help if I kept the cards in focus. Yeah, those all look really good. Alright, let's take a look at some of the other things. Here's a quick look at all of the board setup. Here we have a park set up with a few of the new dinosaurs as well as new facilities. In addition to the expansion itself, we also received samples of two of the add-ons, which I can tell here is the metal coins. So here are our metal coins. I assume the final versions will not have that on them, but coins themselves... Sorry about that, the camera cut out. So here's a look at the new metal coins. So we did show these off previously. They look quite nice. Our ones. And our threes. Alright, finally, we have our little cosmetic ammonite meeples. If I can get them out. So there we go. Those look great. Alright, so there's a quick unboxing of everything in Controlled Chaos.